Every year, about 150,000 children are born in the U.S., thousands here in Washington. Attorney General Brown slamming the president's executive order, calling it an attack on immigrants. He says former Attorney General Bob Ferguson has been preparing for a second Trump presidency. And while he's not planning to sue Trump for every little thing, he says this goes against our foundation.
We want to have a nice life. Have our families come home, go to work, come home, and enjoy life.
That's what most migrant families want, a chance to have the American dream.
But it wasn't meant for us. That's the sad part.
It's a mix of sorrow and frustration as a country that once promised a fresh start has seemingly turned its back on migrant families.
Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Day one. Trump's priority is to redefine what it means to be an American, abolishing the 14th Amendment.
We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, we'll see. We have very good grounds.
My parents came here with the promise of an American dream, the promise of freedom, of democracy.
This is personal for Monica, a first-generation American born to Mexican migrant campesinos, agriculture workers. The exact scenario Trump's executive order would deny citizenship to.
Birthright citizenship is the law of the land, and that no executive can simply undermine that foundational American principle because he doesn't like immigrants. And that is what has happened here.
6 days after being sworn in as Washington State Attorney General, Nick Brown has filed a multi-state suit against President Trump, calling his executive order unconstitutional, cruel, and un-American, saying it violates the immigration law of 1940.
Let's focus on the people. There are people who will be born here in this state in the coming days, in the coming weeks, in the coming months, who will no longer, if this order took effect, would no longer be considered citizens of the United States of America.
Brown's case was joined by Oregon, Arizona, and Illinois. It parallels the broader 18-state lawsuit filed in Massachusetts over the 14th Amendment order. Brown says he's not worried about multiple cases. He believes this will be beneficial, showing the impact and harms across the country, especially here in Washington, as it will impact you, taxpayers.
And it would harm the state of Washington, citizens included, by putting a tremendous new financial burden on us, on the taxpayers here in Washington, to fund all these vital services that the federal government now helps provide.
Now, Brown says his office will file an emergency motion in the next 24 hours that would seek to block any federal agency from relying on the order to deny citizenship to babies born in our state. He's asking the court to intervene before it even goes into effect. Back to you.